Citizens calling for INDECOM to investigate police shooting of a man. Police keeping close watch on Central Village after gang violence. 17-year-old charged for 2 murders. Businessman shot to death. West Indies and South Africa first test ended in a draw. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The Cannabis Licensing Authority employees have voiced concern to the public about the agency's hiring methods, and the People's National Party has now demanded that the Auditor General look into these allegations immediately. Anthony Hilton, the spokesperson on investment, trade, and global logistics, pointed out that there have been reports indicating that hiring decisions are being made more on political affiliations than qualifications, and this had resulted in the removal of human resource policies that have been in place, such as a committee tasked with screening job applications. Mr. Hilton cited complaints from the general public and employees as proof of poor management at the organization, which was founded in 2015 to promote the growth of the cannabis sector, and he's urging the Auditor General to urgently investigate these allegations and publish the findings at the earliest possible time. Meanwhile, the policeman who was mowed down by a motorist during a traffic stop along Old Hope Road in St. Andrew on Thursday has been discharged from hospital and is now recuperating. He suffered bruises and cuts to his face, arms, and upper body. It is said that about 6 p.m. 2 officers were providing beat duty and security coverage along the roadway when they stopped a black Toyota Fielder motor car for a traffic breach. While interacting with the cops, the motorist drove off, hitting one of the officers and running him over while speeding away. The injured policeman was rushed to hospital where he was admitted. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary Mackenzie, head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, said the owner of the vehicle has been questioned, but they are still searching for the driver. The police and military are keeping a close watch on sections of Central Village in St. Catherine following a flare-up of gang violence last week. Acting Assistant Commissioner Christopher Phillips, head of the Area 5 Police, said that the curfew was imposed to prevent reprisal attacks after gunmen fired on and firebombed 2 houses in the community earlier last week. Acting ACP Phillips said the area is tense following the attacks, adding that the security forces will continue to maintain a strong presence in that area. Meanwhile, residents of Backlands in Spanish Town said Cantrin staged a protest along the Spanish Town bypass on Friday afternoon over a double killing by the police in the area last Wednesday. The residents are disputing the police version of events, particularly as it relates to one of the deceased men identified as Thera Headley. According to his aunt and sister, he was killed in cold blood. They said the police identified themselves and called for him to come outside. When he recognized that the men were police, he came out to them and they started to shoot him. She said even when he was lying on the ground, they went over him and shot him some more. The family is now calling on INDECOM to do a thorough investigation in this shooting. A 17-year-old teenager of Logwood District in Hanover has been slapped with several charges following a gun attack that claimed the lives of 2 residents at their home in Namperl Heights in Negril on Thursday, May 23rd. Dead are 62-year-old fisherman Kevin Whitmore and 49-year-old Althea Hunter. The teenager, who cannot be identified, was charged with 2 counts of murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Reports are that about 11:30 p.m. a man and a woman were sleeping at home when they were awakened by armed men who kicked open their front door. It's reported that the men entered the house and opened gunfire at the couple, hitting them multiple times before fleeing the scene. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, the couple was taken to hospital where the man was pronounced dead. The woman was treated and admitted, but later succumbed to her injuries, according to police reports. The teenager was arrested on Thursday, August 8 during an operation and later charged. His court date is now being arranged. A man who is believed to be the shooter in Friday, July 26 shooting in Clarendon that left a police constable and another man with serious injuries has been taken into police custody and charged by the police. He has been identified as Kirk Messam, otherwise called Nico, a 27-year-old deliveryman of Inverness Drive in Sandy Bay in Clarendon. Messam is charged with 2 counts of wounding with intent, unauthorized possession of ammunition, possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. According to reports, the policeman heard explosions nearby around 8:30 p.m. while attending a church event at Inverness Drive in the parish and proceeded to investigate. There were reports that the cop was met with gunshots. The police said the officer returned gunfire and the gunmen ran. When the shooting subsided, the officer was left nursing a gunshot wound to his abdomen, while another man had a gunshot wound to his buttocks. The police launched an investigation, and Messam was later identified as a suspect in the shooting. He then turned himself into the police, accompanied by his attorney, on Friday, August 2nd. A businessman, Dean Shaw, was shot dead at Shortwood Plaza in St. Andrew on Saturday. Details surrounding the shooting are not yet available, but unofficial reports are that the men traveling on a motorcycle entered the complex owned by Mr. Shaw and opened gunfire at him. The police are now currently investigating that murder. On to sports. Cricket, the West Indies and South Africa played to a tame draw yesterday. South Africa first at bat took 2 days to make 357 runs. This was due to rain, causing them to lose a total of 142 overs. In reply, the West Indies were all out for 233. Then South Africa, in their second innings, made 173 for 3, declared, giving the West Indies 298 to win. However, the West Indies, in chasing the total, ran out of time and made 202 for 5. The second test will begin on Thursday in Georgetown in Guyana. On to the Olympics, Jamaica failed to add to their 6 medals on the final day of the Olympic Games after dropping the baton in the women's 4x400 meters relay at Stade de France in Paris on Saturday. Jamaica had failed to medal in any of the 4 relays they had qualified in. There were 15 both, and in the mixed 4x400 and women's 4x100, and had failed to make the finals in the men's 4x100 meters race. Roger Stoner's gold medal in the men's discus throw was the best finish by a Jamaican, along with 3 silver from triple jumper Shanika Ricketts, men's 100 meters runner Kishane Thompson, and long jumper Wayne Pinnock, and 2 bronze medals from shot putter Rajinda Campbell and sprint hurdler Rashid Broadbell. On Saturday, intermediate hurdle specialist Anjanette Knight dropped the baton as she was being passed by Ireland's Rashidat Adeleke on the backstretch and stopped running. The United States strolled to an easy win, running a North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletics Association record of 3 minutes 15.27 seconds. The Netherlands were second with a national record of 3 minutes 19.50 seconds, and Great Britain took the bronze medal, also running a national record 3 minutes 19.72 seconds. Jamaica overall had a bad Olympics, and the J3A will need to meet with the athletes and coaches to find out what really was the issue, as some of the athletes did not seem to be interested to compete at all or were not committed to represent the island. So now the Olympics is over, and we saw the US and China tied with 40 gold medals apiece, but US won overall with 127 medals. China ended with 91. Third place was Japan with 20 golds and 45 total medals. And if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a good day. I gone.